Doing this deal in the 80s, early 80s, I mean, people were pulling out caution flags. Some of the drivers, you didn't tell it, but people were, you know, if you need the money, you can stop on the track or spin out, you know, when nobody around, and, you know, the next week you get paid off, you know, around the truck or wherever, you know, $500, $1,000. So I got to doing it a little bit. And so at Bobby, I think it was Bobby and Gary Nelson at Martinsville, I'm pretty sure, and Bobby had cracked his shoulder at Dover, and I think it's when he won the championship. So James Hilton missed the race. James come over and said, I know how you make $1,000. And I said, you know, we had to finish about 12th or 14th, get $1,000, which, you know, you had to finish that good first, not fall out. I said, what's that? And he said, Bobby Allison needs a caution flag. And I said, $1,000. I said, you tell Gary it's a done deal. He said, you get paid next week. We're at Wilkesboro where we went. And I said, okay. So I seen Gary on the side, and he said, I said, you tell Bobby to be ready and leave your seatbelts loose. Because I said, I'm going to doggone spin out early. I want to get that money. Because at Martinsville back then, everybody take off down the straightaway, and about the first lap or two, somebody run into them, they'd start spinning out, and I said, they have a doggone wreck before I spin out. I'm not going to get my money. So they dropped the flag. Harold Kinder, he used to wear these little bubble goggles. He's up there. They wave a flag. I go down in the corner, and I run about 50 mile an hour, and I just lock it up, spin around backwards, and I'm sitting there. And I think Jeff Bodine at number 5, I think is the one that kept, Hendrick said when Bodine won the race, it kept them in race, and I'm pretty sure that's the race. So I'm sitting there, Harold Kinder won't throw the flag out. Here they come out of the corner, and I said, I ain't moving. So they got almost the thing, they wave the flag, I crank it up, and I spin around. So that's it. So I don't know what happened in this race. So the next race, we're at the track, and what happened when I tell you use tires, we borrowed, they charged us $100. I would borrow them off of Richard Petty or Junior or Richard Childress, and they would charge you $100 to qualify on a set of their tires. It would be a set, they would put a set on to qualify on, but you might get a set that they had 4 laps or 5 laps or 3 laps, and that they tried and said, well, no, these are a half a tenth slower, so we're going to put the new ones on. Well, we would get the ones half a tenth slower, but they would be 2 tenths quicker, 3 tenths quicker than what we had, because we actually had tires from the previous race, or like I said, we went somewhere and got them out of their junk pile, or where we got them. I mean, it's just what you did back then. And I mean, so they weren't bad tires, it's just they weren't competitive. So they were old tires. So we get to the next week, I told, I was up at the front end, Marshall and other guys there, and they said, Ronnie Thomas, come to the Nascar trailer. And I went, oh crap. So I just go down there, and I don't know if any of y'all, a lot of you heard of Dick Beatty. He was headed up then, the big dog, the inspector. So he'd always call me Ronnie, but he was always son. If he was mad at me, it was always son. And it wasn't that often when I opened, he said, sit down on the couch, shut the door, son. I said, uh-oh. So I'm sitting there, and I'm going like that. And he said, if you did what I think you did at Martinsville last week, I'll put you out of racing for a while. And I said, Dick, I don't know what you're talking about. Why did you spin out? And I said, Dick, when we went down the corner, I had old tires, and you know, old tires. And I said, I was just running so fast when I hit the brake, it spun around backwards on me. He said, you don't run fast enough to spin out.